5,000 years have passed since Teth Adam was imprisoned due to misusing the powers of the gods he was given. Now in the modern day, Adam is released, only to find that his kingdom of Kahndaq is being controlled by a shady government operation. But now that Adam is free, he's ready to show him his own personal form of justice. This is Black Adam. Black Adam is the latest film from DC and Warner Brothers. And this is supposed to be what jumpstarts the next era of DC films. Now, I am not exaggerating when I say this film was a long time coming. Dwayne Johnson was cast as Black Adam in November of 2007. To put it in context, just how long ago that was, let me put it this way. Tobey Maguire was still Spider-Man, Disney hadn't bought Marvel, nor was the MCU a thing, and The Dark Knight hadn't released. And I can definitely see why it took them so long for this film to come out. They needed every other superhero film to exist first. There is a lot to Black Adam that is suspiciously similar to scenes from other comic book movies. Coincidentally enough, most of the comparisons can be made to Marvel movies. And no, I'm not even talking about the fact that some characters may seem conceptually similar to characters from the Marvel universe. However, I will have to give Black Adam the benefit of the doubt. If you're gonna copy something, at least copy the entertaining stuff, because I was really entertained with this movie, even if it can be a bit generic at times. Now, this was a role for Dwayne Johnson that I imagine he was literally born for. And he doesn't pull any punches with this performance. Compared to maybe some other performances you've seen from him lately, this is a very different performance. He's a very stoic character and a lot more grumpy or angry at times. And remember, Black Adam is not a hero. I wouldn't necessarily call him a villain, but he is definitely somewhere in the middle ground, like an anti-hero of sorts. Watching a character like Black Adam go ham on people, just without any regard for their life, was surprisingly entertaining. And plus, I really enjoy Black Adam's arc in this film. It's one of the few aspects to this film that I don't really think I can connect to any already existing property. Dwayne Johnson isn't the only one playing a superpowered being in this film. This film introduces us to the Justice Society of America. They aren't the International Justice Lodge of Super Acquaintances, but I guess we'll have to deal with it. And I liked this cast of characters just as much as I did Black Adam. I think my absolute favorite of the team was Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. He's a character I've always wanted to see in live action, and I'm so glad we finally got to see him. I really hope we maybe get a Dr. Fate movie one of these days, maybe with Pierce Brosnan. That would be great, because I really enjoyed this character and this performance a whole lot. And look, I love Doctor Strange as much as the next guy, but if you're gonna come at me and claim that he's a Doctor Strange ripoff, I have two things to tell you. One, Dr. Fate was created first, and two, I don't remember asking. Almost equally as great was Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. This character had a really great rivalry alongside Black Adam. A good portion of their dialogue seemed like something straight out of the WWE. I half expected Black Adam to go,
"Shut up, bitch!"
That would have been perfect. The final two members of the Justice Society consist of Quintessa Swindle as Cyclone and Noah Centino as Atom Smasher. And just like the rest of the team, I thought their powers were really cool. I thought they were entertaining to watch. I thought they had a great personality. Although, Atom Smasher's mask, I couldn't help but look at it and just go, that's Deadpool. That is a Deadpool mask, repurposed, colored blue for this movie. It doesn't help that he is a character that grows in size and you can literally see the mask on screen, taking up the entire screen. You can see every detail that looks almost exactly like Deadpool's mask. It kind of took me out of the movie a bit. But the comparisons to other media don't stop there, surprisingly, because there are a shocking amount of scenes in this movie that just seem like they came from another movie. Because I think they did. And I'm not saying the scenes feel out of place. They quite literally seem like scenes that you've seen in other comic book movies. There are scenes that are almost shot identically to scenes from a Marvel movie. I can think of things that can be related to Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Quicksilver. It was weird. It really was. It was quite jarring. Anytime the movie was to have a scene that looked eerily similar to a scene from another comic book movie, I would just look at it and go like that Dwayne Johnson eyebrow meme and just go, like, oh, this looks familiar. But I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. At least they picked entertaining scenes, entertaining things to borrow or steal or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna make a bold statement here and say this film is the anti-Morbius. Morbius was a film that was just filled of every trope that you'd expect from a comic book movie, but not entertaining in the slightest. Everything about it is just the worst thing a comic book movie can be. This film, however, while full of those tropes and literally scenes from other films, I'm still entertained. Like, I think Black Adam and the Justice Society are very entertaining characters. They have entertaining powers. It makes for a fun comic book movie. But it is definitely hard to look past some of those scenes. Some of the visuals in this film can be a bit hit or miss. There is one that made me laugh really hard at a time in the film where you're probably not supposed to laugh at all. I don't want to spoil it because it is really funny, but let me put it this way. What worked for Chris Evans doesn't really work for Dwayne Johnson. But the action scenes of the film are all really entertaining. I love seeing all the different heroes with all their different powers. It makes for really engaging action scene. Not everyone does the same thing. And to me, that just makes for a rather entertaining comic book popcorn movie. And sometimes that's all I can ask for. Is this the best film of the DC universe? No. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad still reigns supreme in my opinion, but there's still a lot here that makes for an extremely entertaining film. The cast, the action scenes, Black Adam's arc itself just makes for a very entertaining film. Even if the film has its own shortcomings, I still greatly prefer this over some of the earlier DC films, like Batman vs. Superman or not James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and today I have a huge announcement. I have officially launched the On Cue Reviews website. So if you don't like watching the reviews on YouTube, you can go over to oncuereviews.com and watch the reviews there. But no matter where you're watching the video though, please consider hitting that like button and be sure to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Until next time, I'm Quint Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.